On one of many possible worlds, there is a place where two lands exist closely entwined with one another. One land is a land of the living and the other a land of the dead. The land of the living looks out and the land of the dead looks in. When the living die, they pass into the land of the dead, taking with them a detailed book containing a record of their life, while in the land of the dead, according to the life that they have lived, they are allocated a future life, and in time are born once more as a child into the land of the living. The cycle continues. A rich man, who worries his whole life about being poor, may live inscribed in the book of his life a groove that describes this fear, and since it is a dominant thought, he is likely to be born poor in his new life. A man who is poor and dreams of being rich may find he comes back as a rich man. A man who is forever thinking of women may find he is born in his next life as a woman. One's obsession is what one becomes, and this chain connects one life with the next. Each book is unflinching and without omission. All obsessions are recorded. The wise from both the land of the living and the land of the dead were puzzled by this endless and apparently pointless progression and meditated for a long time on a means to free the citizens from this relentless cycle. The wise found that the best location for contemplating this dilemma was for them to be suspended in the space between the two worlds. Most of the time they would remain in silent isolation. Over many years they discovered, upon deep scientific analysis of a random sample of books of life, that if the pages of the book were to become empty, then there would be no written future. This should have meant it would be possible to consciously write one's own future. However, as soon as one began ruminating on one's ambitions for the many potential futures, the pages of the book would fill once more and the cycle would begin again. The wise eventually agreed amongst themselves that the means to become free of the cycle of births and deaths was to leave life with an empty book, and the only way to do this was to be completely free from obsessions, desires and aversions. It was discovered that the more that this state of emptiness could be achieved, the more the pages of one's book would empty. Over time, the empty book philosophy became fashionable and was widely accepted. Although it looked easy at first, it required a lot of hard work, and once this was discovered, its popularity faded once more. These days, those who pursue the path of the empty book rarely speak of it. They develop their skill in private over many years, training for the moment when the pages cease to turn and all writing stops. What could those who have experienced this moment personally say of such a thing? And even if they did speak of it, is it possible to understand what is read from an empty book?